don't get me wrong. I like the list season as much or as little as everybody else, depending on the list, right? I'm not anti-list because I realize that this time of year, like, you can't talk about the same thing over and over. I don't want to do, and it's hard to do this time, but I want to do can Jalen Hurts win a Super Bowl? Well, he can, so you can't do that BS show, right? Like, how many different cans of soup can you reheat the same way, right? So you have to do the list, and nationally they have to do the list. So this particular list is put out by a guy. I don't even know what his name is. 4 verts. It's Charles Robinson or something, whatever his name is. So he puts up, it's a top 10, Charles McDonald, not Charles Robinson. I actually heard of him. Charles McDonald's top 10 quarterbacks entering the 2025 season. All right, and there it is. Thank you very much, brother. So you can leave that up there for a second while I talk. Every list, you almost need to qualify it for like 30 seconds because, like, all right, is this going forward? Is this just for this season? Is this for the next 5 years? Because you wouldn't put an older quarterback if it's for like now going forward. You would look at it differently if it's only for the 2025 season. So I don't know what his criteria was, but like if we'll just say for this season, because Matt Stafford's number 6 on the list, so it can't be going forward. So we're just going to say for this season. So the top 10 quarterback list, as you can see, if you're listening, I'm going to read it off for you. Number 1 is Pat Mahomes. Okay, whatever. Number 2, Lamar Jackson. I wouldn't put him at 2, but like whatever. Josh Allen 3. All right, like another guy that, he hadn't been to a Super Bowl, but okay, he's really good. I like him. Number 4, Joe Burrow. All right, like I'm a huge Joe Burrow fan. He's been to a Super Bowl. No problem with the top 4. Fine. You want to do that? Do that. Number 5, Justin Herbert. Like this is the biggest piece of crap I've ever seen by putting him number 5 on the list. Like really, he's more or less been turned into a game manager that hasn't won anything in the playoffs. Number 5 on the list, Justin Herbert. I guess you're projecting to the season. Matt Stafford 6. You can take it down now, Brendan. That's fine. Dak Prescott, number 7. Dak Prescott, Dakota Rain Prescott. Unless there's another Dak Prescott that I don't know about. Dak Prescott, number 7, without Jalen Hurts is mentioned now. Now, see, and this is the one where you have to question, like, this is clearly an engagement. You put him at 8 to get people mad. That's Dak Prescott at 7 to a lesser extent. But Geno Smith at 8, being the 8th best quarterback in the NFL right now, over Jaden Daniels and over Jalen Hurts, is incredibly funny. Number 9, Jordan Love, and then C.J. Stroud, number 10. All right, so Jalen Hurts not making any top 10 list is ridiculous. It's absolutely positively just unprofessional. Even if you were the guy that the Chubby Chase Daniel or the Chris Sims or whatever, if you want to put him at the bottom of a top 10 list and put a guy like Dak Prescott over him because you're trying to get engagement, okay, like F you for doing that, but like at least you put him in a top 10. Leaving him off a top 10 list is pathetic. In the last 3 seasons in the Super Bowl, he's outplayed the top quarterback on your list. He's outplayed him. Outplayed him last year, outplayed him 3 years ago. That's a fact. You look at his play, okay, he hands the ball off to Saquon Barkley. And I know he had put in some of his reasoning was the supporting cast matters. Okay, the supporting cast does matter. So you tell me, what team is winning Super Bowls without a good supporting cast? All right, Saquon Barkley's the best running back in the NFL. Was anybody saying that prior to him coming to the Eagles last year? Nope, they weren't. They weren't saying that. They were being told that they were overvaluing and overpaying the running back, and they were dumb. Now Saquon Barkley is good and Jalen Hurts isn't. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, two really good wide receivers. A.J. Brown's a great wide receiver. Absolutely. Dallas Goedert can't stay healthy. He's very good. Elite offensive line, great defense. Jalen Hurts is being penalized because he's got a good team around him. When the team wasn't as good around him, he was still being disrespected. So let's not, you just move the goalposts on him. just move the goalposts. Oh, he's not. The supporting cast is too good. Look at his passing yardage numbers. Like, you're telling me he was a good running quarterback? If Jalen Hurts is going to be penalized for not having an ego and saying, hey, how can we win? The best way to win is me not throwing the ball 45 times a game, 30 times a game, 25 times a game. Look at our offensive line. Look at Saquon Barkley. Guess what? This year, they're probably going to have to throw the ball more because I don't think Saquon Barkley can have the same workload this year. It's going to look a little bit different this year. Jalen Hurts, the runner, does that not count? Look at the Eagles' offense. Is the Eagles' offense the same if Jalen Hurts, the runner, and Jalen Hurts, the opportunity to run isn't there? That's a big part of it. You have to account for Jalen Hurts in the running game. Can he run? Will he run? Of course he will. So they have to account for that. All the intangible stuff. Listen, I'm not telling you that Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the NFL. And if you put Jalen Hurts on the New England Patriots, that he would have them in the Super Bowl. Guess what? If you put Josh Allen on the Patriots, they ain't making a Super Bowl. If you put Pat Mahomes on the Patriots, they're not making a Super Bowl. It's not the way it works. You need good teams. And I like Pat Mahomes. I think he's a little bit overrated right now. Right? Like, still obviously a great quarterback, and he's going to be considered one of the GOATs when it's all said and done. Like, it's just whatever. Like Lamar Jackson, he's the MVP. How about you get to a Super Bowl, Holmes? How about you show up at a big playoff game? Josh Allen, you haven't been to a Super Bowl. Some of that's not your fault. Come on, dude. Joe Burrow, you don't have talent on offense? You got great talent on offense. That's a bad organization. I love Joe Burrow. All these guys that haven't won Super Bowls, oh, well, they're so good. By the way, Justin Herbert, look at Justin Herbert's game logs last year. He was more or less Jalen Hurts without the success. Jim Harbaugh's treating him like a better J.J. McCarthy. They ran the ball a lot. So Justin Herbert, 5th overall. Give me a freaking break. It's unbelievable. Justin Herbert's a very good quarterback. I would take him on my team. I would. How about he has some playoff success before we crown him? Because that's what he's being done in this list. This is just so epically stupid. And like CJ Stroud's a great young quarterback. I like him. Jordan Love, Jordan Love's a good quarterback. Dak Prescott? See, this is where you have a problem, because if you're projecting to this year and you're saying, well, I'm looking at what they're going to do this year, the Cowboys, by all indications, may not even be a 500, or you can't be 500, or may not even be a winning team this year. Look at the over-under. It's 8.5. I know it's not 9.5. It's 8.5 or less. Like, they are not favored to go to the playoffs. So if you're going to tell me, oh, well, Dak will throw for 5,000 yards, man, this dude is the biggest garbage yard quarterback since Phillip Rivers, Dak Prescott. Remember when he was in Philly and he was playing against the COVID replacement team because the Eagles wisely said, hey, we're just going to put our whole team in COVID to get ready for the playoffs so they can't get it. Again, they can't be designated with it. So everybody went he played a COVID replacement team, guys that are on the street 2 weeks before, and he's throwing for touchdowns and he's giving fist pumps, like, yeah, running the score up on a scab team, essentially. Cowboys did that before with Buddy Ryan when when their veterans were playing scabs back in the strike season, 1987. So give me a freaking break with Dak Prescott, number 7 on your list. And Geno Smith at 8, like, listen, Ronald McDonald, or whatever your name is, Charles McDonald. You do you, and we'll do us, and I'll do me. But you're an absolute stone fool for putting Geno Smith at number 8 on this list. All right, like Jaden Daniels, maybe he comes back down to earth in his second season, and he's not as good as he was last year. He was a legit MVP candidate. So if you're telling me you think that Geno Smith's going to have a better season than Jaden Daniels, God bless you.